Good morning once again. Welcome to Sunday's spiritual celebration. And I'm Jean Aaron, and today we are having an open discussion in regards, the topic is the power of your words. The power of your words. That's the topic today. So again, if you have any questions or any comments that you'd like to share, use the chat box or use a meme to give me a hands up, and I'll pass the mic to you, and you can share your thoughts or share or just present your questions as well. So let me start by saying, let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable, nourishing for the growth and the life and the growth of the hearer, whomever that might be this morning or later on, hopefully via YouTube. If you missed this morning's broadcast via Zoom, you can catch us again on our YouTube channel. But anyway, the words spoken from our mouth have incredible power. Incredible power. Words have the power that we speak. Words that we speak have the power to create, to destroy, to inspire, to uninspire or deflate, to encourage, to discourage, to lift up, to tear down, to give hope, and to snatch it away. That's the power of our mouth. It's the power of the words that we speak from our mouth. They're powerful, very powerful. I posted, or someone shared with me a post that said, words are like spells that you cast. And I said, yeah, you use words or the letters of words to spell a word, those letters, and those letters become words, and those words become sentences and commands and just, phrases or quotes, demands, commands, pleas, prayers, hateful things, hurtful words. And we use them all kind of ways. And I know there's a scripture in the New Testament, and I'm feeling exactly where it is in the New Testament. I think Galatians, where it says, from the mouth, from your tongue, or maybe it's Timothy. Anyway, from your tongue is a fountain of life, and it's also just a cesspool of death. From the same mouth, we can speak life. From the same mouth, we can speak death. And, that's, I think, Paul in his letters, as he was sharing that notable fact about our words, he said it ought not be that way. It ought not be that way, but it is. It is. And I believe there was Jesus in Matthew or one of the books in the New Testament, Mark, Luke, John, I believe it was Matthew, where Jesus said that, the words that we speak from our mouth indicate, or is an indication of the content of our hearts, that we can only we speak from our heart. And those words that come from our heart, it demonstrates, or it shows as an example of whether we have a healthy heart, where a healthy heart, produces life and growth and positive words, uplifting words, life words that grow and nourish you, or it demonstrates an unhealthy heart, a heart that needs just a little bit more, care, healing, health, physician. We need a doctor to check it out and see what's going on there. But what we say, what we speak is powerful. What we speak either brings and nourish and encourage life and growth of life, or it diminishes it or tears it down and spoils it. It spoils it. Now, we've all heard the saying, I'm pretty sure that we've all heard the saying, Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. when someone when someone is saying was saying something hateful or ugly or mean or hurtful, that phrase was meant to, deflect those words, push them away, to help you not receive them in that light where it would be hurtful to you or harmful to you. But unfortunately, that phrase is not true. It's not a true, it's not true. It's not true at all. Because I remember hearing those words as a child, as a little girl, that people would say nasty and hurtful and hateful things to me, and I would feel some kind of way, hurt, disappointed, angry, just deflated. I would feel bad. I would feel really, just dejected and just some kind of way. I would feel when I would hear, those hateful and nasty comments and things that were said uh, in my hearing about me or to me. And an adult, some adult, or either sometimes my playmates themselves would use that phrase, and they would say, Jean, sticks and stones may break your bones, and words will never hurt you, will never hurt you. Well, of course, it hurt me. It hurt me. Maybe not physically like a slap in the face would be, or a punch in the belly, or a black eye would demonstrate a hurt. But words are hurtful. Words can be hurtful and hateful and disappointing and make you feel some kind of way, right? So I remember that, and it just was confusing to me because I felt hurt when people said things. And I have, then people come along and say, the sticks and stones break your bones, but words don't hurt. I kind of took that to my grandmother. And I said, and we lovingly called her Nini. And I said to her, I said, why do they say that words don't hurt when they do hurt? I don't understand why they say it, why they put it that way. And I remember she had this little frown on her face, and she said to me, she said, huh, words do hurt. Words can hurt. She says, when people say that to you, they're saying it in hopes that you'll be able to deflect what is said to you. But words hurt. Words hurt. And it's not like a like getting spanked, or getting your bottom beat, or fighting with your brother or sister, and coming up with scratches and bruises. But words are invisible. They're invisible. So it hurts the invisible part of you. What's the invisible part of me? The invisible part of me is my spirit. That spirit inside of me, that what we celebrate on Sundays. We come in on Sunday and we celebrate that spirit. It's you can see it. It also hurts my heart. It breaks my heart when people say hurtful and hateful words to me. And understanding that from my grandmother's point of view, when she said, and she gave a demonstration. I remember she said something to the effect that, well, of course words hurt. They hurt. Of course they do. Because they're invisible, and they hurt in a place where people don't see the hurt. You don't have the evidence of the hurt. So it's not like a barn burning down, or you get burned with a fire. You can see the scars on your hand if you get a burn, or you get a scratch, or a bruise. You can see that on your hand or your body. She says, but you can't see the damage that the words do. And unfortunately, she said, she went on to explain to me, we can patch up a broken body. We can patch up a bone. We can patch up a scratch, or a bruise on your face, or a cut here and there. We can put salve on blisters and burns, or things that you can physically see on your bodies or yourself. But you can't patch. There's no salve. There's no way we can mend the broken heart, or or cover up the scars in your spirit from those words that are spoken. So sure, she said, never, ever, ever buy into that. Never buy into that what you say cannot hurt or damage another person. Don't ever live your life that way. Don't ever treat someone else that way. You remember, just like you come, and she said to me, she said, just like you understand that it hurt and you can't actually tell me where it hurt, but understand that when you speak those unkind words or those hurtful and hateful words out of your mouth to another person, that you're doing the same damage that you receive from the hearing of someone speaking those words to you. And that, of course, that was a long spiel and long speech that she gave me as a child, but I got it. I understood it because first of all, I understood that, when people said things to me, you know, it was hateful or hurtful, it hurt. It hurt. And oftentimes I couldn't tell them that because sometimes it was an adult that was saying that to me or demonstrating or speaking in a way that was hurtful or harmful to me. So I want to encourage you to be mindful of the words that you speak out of your mouth. Absolutely every word that you speak does one or two things to the people that hear, including yourself. That it either encourage you, it either grow you up, it either give you life, or it tears you apart. It tears you down. Can't do both. A word spoken can't give life and can't give death at the same time. But out of your mouth, words can do one or the other. So be conscientious of that and be wise in speaking. And another thing she reminded us as kids growing up, and she would not let us get away even saying meaning hateful things to one another. If we were caught, if we were caught or if she heard it, well, if we came to tell on our sister or brother or whatever that said those hateful and nasty things, she would sit us both down in front of, facing each other, and she would make the person that said the hateful and hurtful thing to come up with seven, and she always said seven. I never did that magic number, but she always made us come up with seven things that we could say to counteract the one thing that we said that was hateful or hurtful to them, like you're stupid or I hate you or whatever kids do when they whatever to make each other feel bad. And I really try to take that with me going forward. Of course, I'm a human being. We all are. So I don't have perfect speak. And I don't always be attentive to the words that I speak, not always. But it is wise that we do. It is wise that we do. Because another thing that she would say to us, she would remind us, you have 2 ears. You have 2 ears and one mouth. So with those 2 ears, let us listen twice as much as we speak. So, every now and then when I have to go back and apologize or take back or try to reclaim some of the words that I've said to people, I remember what my grandmother said. And I don't always come up with seven nice things to say to the person again, but in my mind, I apologize if I catch myself and I recognize that I want a healthy heart, and if I leave that, that gunk in there, it's gonna, kind of, make it a little bit wobbly heart. I'm gonna not have such a healthy heart. So I would always, in my mind, even if I couldn't come up with seven things to express to that person, if I said something hurtful or hateful to them, I would try to come up with seven things to counteract the nasty thing or the hurtful or hateful thing that I spoke into their life. Because we don't want, I am not a killer. I'm not somebody out to destroy this beautiful life because I didn't give life. God gave life. And I'm not the one to take life away. So not with my tongue and not with my strength or not with anything about me do I want to be responsible for the death or destruction or the downfall or the discouragement or the lack of hope in any man or anyone. So today we're talking about the power of your words. And I want to encourage each one of you to recognize, like my grandma said, we got 2 ears, one mouth. So let's hesitate and be watchful and wise in the words that we speak. And I'm going to say, if you're a parent, and I see some parents on the call today, if you're a parent, my goodness, do that. Be conscientious about how you speak over your children. Be conscientious about how you speak over your friends, over your relationships, over your connections, over your husbands, over your wives, over your spouses. Be conscientious about it and be quick when you catch yourself at fault, which we're human and we will fall short. When you catch yourself at fault, fix it, apologize, fix it. To like my grandma said, come up with 7 wonderful, great, nourishing, life-giving words or things to say to that person that you spoke it over, that you spoke the hurtful things over in the first place. So again, let me remind us that it is words that created the world. And just how powerful our words are. God spoke. God spoke everything in this beautiful world that we live in and we enjoy, this universe. God spoke it into existence, and it still exists today. That's how powerful words are. They still maintain their existence today. Everything that God said when he made the day and separated the day and night, we still have day and night. We still have a sky that hangs over the firmament, and we still have the solid earth. So God spoke those things out into being, into existence, and they still exist today. And we are none less than children of God, children of the great creator, children of the Father. And we can do and we can have and we can be the same that our Father can do and have and be. So God speaks to create. God speaks to create. So do we. We create through our words. We create through the words that we speak out of our mouth. We call those things that are not into existence so that they are. Yeah. Everything that we see in our lives and every part, every item, every item in your life, you call them into your existence. You call them into your being. And they're going to be there until you dismiss them or you get rid of them or you replace them, right? That's power, the power of words, the power of the words that we speak. The power of the words that we speak are none less powerful as those words that our Father spoke. And what God says, what God says, it goes out and it does what it's supposed to do and it comes back. And the words that you speak, you may not pay attention. You may not be as attentive as God is or creator or source is about what is said, but every single word that you speak, it will continue to do and continue to try to produce whatever it is that you said. So hopefully you're saying life-giving commands. You're sending those life-giving orders out there because when they come back, and they will come back, they're going to come back as you put them out there, right? So that's an understanding that I cannot dispute, I cannot argue with, I won't fight with, because again, as a young child, I recognized that sticks and stones hurt my bones. My bones can be repaired and I can go to the doctor and get them reset. I can get braces put on them. But when you speak words of hurt and hate over me and it bruises my heart, there's no way you can go in there and you can mend that broken heart. You can't repair my broken spirit or my hurt spirit. I can't do the same and I can't do that for you. So I try to be watchful of the words that I speak to you. They say be kind, and it's as simple as that, just be kind. Be kind so that your heart will be kind and healthy, so that what comes out of your heart, because he said, from the abundance of your heart, your mouth speaks. From the abundance of your heart. And again, the condition of your heart is totally exemplified in the words that we speak. What I want to do before I go, it's just a couple of sayings that I know that I was going through and preparing, after receiving and understanding and what I really needed to say. I went through and I found there's tons and tons and tons of direction in the Bible, in our scriptures, that talks about the power of our mouth or our tongue. And I'm going to encourage you to find one or two and hold on to them and hold them dear to you. One for me is the one that I spoke earlier. It's kind of like a prayer. Let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable, nourishing for the life and the growth of life to the hearers of what I speak. And that includes me too. I talk to myself probably a whole lot more than I talk to anybody else. I don't even have to, it's like speak it out of my, mouth, but I'm speaking it into my mind and into my heart and into my being, my humanness, and into my spirit as I'm mind talking to myself in my mind. So be kind to yourself. Speak words of life to you. Don't, don't beat yourself up when when you make a mess or you do something, that you're not supposed to do. Forgive yourself, love yourself, be kind to yourself. Say nice things to yourself. And if you find yourself saying bad things to you, then go back. And like my grandma said, find 7 things to say good about you, who you are, what you are. Anyway, I want to give you a couple of scriptures. And again, that's one of my favorite. Another one of my favorites is, do not let unwholesome talk come out of your mouth, out of my mouth. That's also a prayer. That's a scripture, and you can find that in Ephesians 4:29. Proverbs, there's tons and tons of them in Proverbs as well. Sin is not ended by multiplying words. Yeah. Sin is not ended by multiplying words. In other words, like my grandma said, you got 2 ears, 1 mouth. Don't be chattering so much. Don't be chattering so much that you are not listening to what's being said to you. Because with 2 ears, we ought to be listening a lot more, or twice as much as we talk, as we speak. Let your speech always be gracious, seasoned with salt, so that you may know how you ought to answer such person. A salty, seasoned heart. A seasoned heart is a healthy heart. And from a healthy heart, your mouth is going to speak healthy words and life-giving words. So these are just a few. But I'm going to encourage you, go to the Bible and say, what does God say about the power of words that I speak, or my speech to one another? How should I talk with one another? And how can I tell that if I'm doing it okay or not okay? Anyway, so those are some verses. And like I said, that there's a scripture where Jesus is, where he actually said that from the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. From the abundance of the heart. All right. We think, comes up out of our hearts and gives us the thought. Then we form the words, and then we spit them out, or we gently pour them out, or we hand them out, or we share them. So I say be cautious of that. There's 3 things that I want to, here's another question. I want to ask a couple of questions. What would it look like? What would it look like if you had to wear all of the words that you spoke in a day? Would you still be as beautiful as you are now? You look in the mirror at yourself, and before you get out in the world, or you get up in the morning, you're getting ready to go, and you get your makeup on, you get your hair all done, and you're looking good. You're looking good. And you go through the day, and you come back home in the evening. If you sit down and you recalled all the words that you spoke in a day, and you had to wear those on your face, how would you look? how would you look? It's a thought. It's something to think about. Think about, right? I may not know, I may not know the condition of your heart by looking at you, but trust me, and you can know this too. This is a clue for you. You can know the condition of the heart of man or the person that you're talking to by the words that they speak to you and just to speak out of their mouth. You'll know that. We demonstrate it. The condition of our heart is evident in our words that we speak. But anyway, here are 3 things that you can put to practice. I like the one about the 7 good over the 1 terrible thing that you said. But here's a couple more. That was my grandmother's. And if you have kids, it really works. I'll give you a funny story in regards to that. It really works because what she's done is that she's captured and she's kind of imprisoned both of us. If it was me that was being mean or nasty, she's imprisoned me to sit there and look at my brother and try to come up with 7 things to counteract the one nasty thing I said. And trust me, he's not so happy about it. He's not allowed to help me either. I have to come up with them by myself, okay? So if you have kids and if you're a teacher or you're with kids, it's a great way to get kids to understand the importance and the necessity of being kind to one another as well. Or they'll, or at least they'll try to do it out of your your hearing, so that they'll go in and fix it before they get before you get it. So, but anyway, that's a good way to do it. But I want to give you 3 things as an adult, as you can go through your day and you can really think about these 3 things that will help you practice using your speech and your words the way God intended, for life-giving, not as a cesspool for tearing things down. All right. The first one is spend time in prayer or meditating, asking God and your higher self to guide your tongue as you speak. You're a human, and we're gonna, somebody's gonna step on our tongue. We're gonna want to give them our, half of our mind or whatever, give them a piece of whatever. But ask, just kind of meditate on that, and sometimes it helps to go back and review those times where you lost it and you said hateful and nasty things, and kind of, how could I have done it differently? And sometimes you may not get an opportunity to go back and talk to that person, or see that person that you blessed out, cursed out at the gas station or the grocery store, wherever, the McDonald's, whatever. You may not have an opportunity to go back and talk to that person. But what you can do is, in prayer, you can apologize and ask God to snatch those words out and not let them do the damage that they would have done or could do. You can do that. You can ask that, and then in the meantime, you can verbalize a prayer of forgiving yourself for saying it, and then again, what should you have done? What could you have done instead of going off on the deep end and pouring out a demonstration of your unhealthy heart? Okay, that's one thing. So we have an opportunity. Life gives us an opportunity all the time when we meet and we communicate and we hang out with one another. It gives us the opportunity to practice, to put these into practice. All of these 3 things into practice. The second one is practice thinking before you speak. Remember, and just what I do is I remember. I got 2 ears. Sometimes repeating what I heard, especially if it's something that's triggered me, set me off, just stepped on my toe or whatever, I repeat it in my mind. And I repeat it, not so much to get myself more wound up, but did I hear that correctly? And then I ask myself, as I'm repeating what was said, and if it's something that I know it's triggering, if it was a trigger of mine, I immediately, if I catch it fast enough, I immediately snatch it out and say, you know what? This person obviously has a defective, has an unhealthy heart. maybe not have, no, they may not even realize they need a little doctoring on their heart. So I am not going to allow what they said to me to cause me, cause find that place in my heart that is unhealthy. It's got, your nasty words met a healthy heart, met a healthy heart. And I'm going to respond and react not in kind. I'm going to respond and act according to the health of my heart, not according to the word that you gave me or that you smacked me with or you stabbed me with. So think before we speak. Figure out a way to do it. Again, I kind of repeat what was said to myself, but if repeating it to yourself is going to make you rile you up, you may not want to do that. You may want to take 10, kind of, breathe and count to 10 or something. I don't know. But I like to repeat it because I've come to understand when something triggers me, then there's something in me that I need to attend to. I need to attend to because I try my best not to react to the unhealthy hearts and awful words or unkind words that are spoken to me. They do bother me. They do. And I try to meet the person again, later the next time, with a smile rather than remembering that, that, hey, I owe you a curse word because, you did this to me. I try not to do that. So I don't try to do tit for tat on that. So think before you speak. The third one is apologize to those when our words have crushed or caused them harm. And that means your children as well. That means your best friend as well. And that means, that if it takes, like with me, sometimes I'll get offended by a friend or whatever, and it may take me a while to process it so that I can go back and I can talk to them. I mean, if I responded right then, I would not respond. I would react. So I would have to, wind myself down a little bit, go home, think about it, talk to God about it, journal about it, find out why it bothered me, and then go back and apologize. If it's something that, go back and present myself again to them and point it out to them. You point out those things to people sometimes that, when they're hurtful and they're hateful to you, but don't point it out to them with a pointed finger. Point it out with an expression of love. You know, Candy, when you said such and such to me, da 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 da, it really hurt my feelings because, and I express it that way. And I don't go back and say, you did this, or, I just let them know that my feelings were hurt. I was disappointed in the way you presented that, or how what you said or did in a particular situation. So be expressive. Use your words as life givers, even in reprimanding, even in apologizing, even in asking for an understanding from the other party. Just be expressive about it. So the first one, of course, is to have a relationship with your inner man, your higher self, with God in prayer and meditation, so that God will guide your heart. God will guide your mouth. God will guide you to understanding the health of your heart. Sometimes we don't know until we pour it out of there. But then forgive ourselves. Forgive ourselves. And if we forgive ourselves, be quick to forgive others. Right? So the second one is to practice thinking before you speak. You don't have to immediately answer anybody. I can ask you a question. You can say, hey, I'll get back to you on that one. Or if somebody says something crazy to you, you don't have to immediately, respond or react to it. You can say, oh, wow, that was kind of a low blow, to myself. But you know what? Well, I'm going to deal with them. I'll kind of process that a little bit. And if I see it necessary, I might come back and present it to them in a responding way rather than a reactive way. And the third one, of course, is to apologize when you find yourself at fault in expressing hurtful, harmful things to anyone at all. And if they are not accessible to you, do it in the sight of God and with your higher self, and forgive yourself. And forgive yourself. And recognize that you could have done it this way or another, or a better way, a life-giving way, rather than the way that you did it, the way that you did it in the past. So my prayer again today, and I'm gonna be, this is gonna end the discussion today, unless you yourself have anything you want to add or you want to say. I think there was one okay, good question to think on. Yeah, that was a good question to think on. Anybody, if you have any comments or questions or whatever, feel free to, I'll give you the mic, as they say.
I would like to say something.
Okay.
Alert from software update.
Okay, go on.
So yesterday, I went to, well, the day before yesterday, I went to the phone store. I've been trying to get a new phone because one of the kids dropped it. And the girl in there, she was so rude. She was so nasty. She just didn't want to do her job. And I felt myself like getting ready to snap, getting ready to say something to her, but I didn't. I left, and I came back the next day, and on my way there, I just said a prayer to myself. And by the end of the whole transaction, she ended up giving me a free screen protector. And I was like, wow, if I would have snapped on her and said all these ugly, nasty things to her, it probably wouldn't win as well as it did.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And you know what? You should commend yourself for that act, because it is easy for us to react. It's our human nature. It's our nature, human beings, to react. It takes a and basically we look at it this way. We have a tendency to have an unhealthy heart. That's just a natural way. It takes effort to cultivate your heart, or heal your heart, or to have that healthy heart. It's not something that, is, just we come here with the healthy heart, but then life happens to us, and then it just gets it tears apart. Hurt after hurt, like my grandmother said, hurt after hurt after hurt, if not attended to, will make you bitter, will make you angry, will make you suffer. And I can say in your case, Keturah, that you are loved. You have a demonstration of love being presented and poured out into your life. So your heart is probably healthier than than a lot of folk that you're going to meet at the phone store, at the grocery store, at the gas station, because there's so much hurt and pain outpoured in the world, and people don't feel love. They don't feel the kindness from one another. All they've experienced is hurtfulness and hatefulness, and it's hard to heal if you don't have love. Love heals. So continue to pour out your love. Be a demonstration of that love every chance you get, especially when you're meeting those people who are having an awful day, obviously, and who may not have even heard "I love you," or have a pleasant day, or seen somebody smile at them in days or weeks. So continue being who you are, being kind and an example of a human being with a healthy heart and healthy spirit. Continue to be that person. Anybody, anything else? All right. That's all I have for you today. And I will say that my prayer today is that we, as believers, will be people of example, that we will exemplify what a healthy heart looks like, sound like, and act like. And keep on doing what you're doing, because you got it. You got it. And I'm preaching to the choir, but pass it on. Pass it on. Every single time you can do what Keturah did and get the result that Keturah got, understand, Keturah, that you healed a part of her brokenness. You gave her a dose of love, so that love heals. So kindness, using kind words, encouraging, allowing, not accepting it, but allow just, okay, you poured it out. I'm not going to tit for tat and give it back to you. I could. And I could probably do it a whole lot better than you, because I can roll my head and roll my eyes probably a whole lot better than you can, but I'm not going to do that because I have a healthy heart, or I have a heart that I want to be more healthy and more healthy. And every kind act I do strengthens my heart, strengthens your heart, strengthens their heart. So keep doing what you're doing. That's all I have today. And I hope you, again, you got something out of it. You remember that you have 2 ears, 1 mouth. If you say something hurtful and you catch yourself, apologize. Come up with 7 things. Even if you can't say it to them, say it to yourself and forgive yourself and let it go to do for yourself. All right? That's all I have today. And I'm going to say manifest best, continue to, again, love on each other and love on, just be the hands, feet, and mouth of your creator. Demonstrate who made you. All right. The world didn't. The world would love to make you over, but we are going to remain children of the Most High. Until next Sunday, manifest best. God bless each one of you. And I'm going to say, until next Sunday, have a wonderful week. God bless. I love you. And so does God.